So I'm sure by now you've seen the talk about a Superman game that was canceled in 2007/2008, and now there are actually more details. In fact, videos, concept art, and all of the above that has made me break my silence on this channel. Welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. Thank you so much for everyone that has basically hung in there. And many of you know that I'm just constantly taking the time to be quiet as much as Gotham Knights and the DC games are quiet. I don't want to necessarily say things that are not confirmed or things that are speculated too much anyways. I would love to speculate more, but we've speculated enough. We just need to let the developers do their thing and bring this game to life. So this particular, incident, basically, or I would say this new development has been revealed by one of the developers who worked on a Superman game in 2007-2008. The Twitter handle is Salvetrix, I think that's the name. And this person pretty much put out a thread that pretty much mentions all of the above in regard to some of the circumstances around the development of this game. Now, credit to Degenerate J. I saw this on his channel today, and I said, I got to go back and look into this. And I started to read through the entire thread. And boy, I'm telling you, this is some crazy stuff in terms of the situation and how unfortunate all of this stuff is. So this person writes and says, in 2007-2008, I was lead designer on a Superman game that was never released because the economy crashed hard. It killed our publisher, our studio Factor 5, and the game. I have multiple unreleased games through my career, but this is the only one I mourn to this day. So I'm just quite floored as to how well this game would have really served the superhero gaming community. So around 2007-2008, there really wasn't a lot in regard to the superhero genre. In fact, many people had been quite disappointed with the other Superman game. And so a lot of people, did not necessarily, think that anything superhero games were really going to change the dynamics of gaming. In fact, what you had from the PlayStation 2 days, some of those games were actually quite decent, but nothing was, in my opinion, quite breathtaking that was going to be a 3D game that was going to have some of the elements that we had seen in the past Spider-Man games and was going to pretty much floor the audience and make them kind of go, whoa, this is kind of amazing. But then, I think a year after this incident, guess the game that came to the market? It was Batman Arkham Asylum. Arkham Asylum was dropped by Rocksteady, and it changed the entirety of gaming for good. Now, here are some really interesting things. Somehow, Warner Brothers perhaps had enough funds to continue the development of Arkham Asylum, regardless of all of the financial issues that did affect basically a lot of the, I would say a lot of the world at that time. It just happened to be that this particular studio did not necessarily get what they needed to be able to continue, their development. In fact, as this thread continues to go on, people in the thread kept asking the questions to the, this developer who was revealing all of this. And I remember seeing one question of somebody saying, is it possible that nobody else wanted to take on this project and it was just that your publishers, decided to leave because they didn't have any money? And the developer pretty much said, and I can't find the comment on the thread. I've read the whole thing, by the way, so I do know. And they said something along the lines of, actually, what happened was there were other publishers that actually wanted to go ahead and pick the game up, but guess what? The issue was there wasn't really anybody that was wanting to give any loans at that time. So this is it right here. So check this out. This says, a biggest success from, so the developer says this, and this would have been a surmountable challenge because we had interest from other publishers, but publishing deals took a while to work out. So normally interim loans are produced, which are then rapid and with an initial large first milestone payment. But being in the middle of the late 2008 market plunge, no banks were willing to lend money, not even with letters of intent from publishers. It was a perfect storm of no return. So that entirety of the 2008 financial issue basically did this game's development in. And I think this is an unfortunate situation because even though, like I said, there was such a wonderful opportunity, there were studios that wanted to, publishers that wanted to take this on, but at the end of the day, it just couldn't work out. And so you also could ask yourself, couldn't it be that Warner Brothers, couldn't it be that they would have actually taken on this game as well? But I don't think, again, that the conditions were, in my opinion, prime to allow for something like this to happen. In fact, I think what must have happened was a lot of the issues being faced by this particular game, Warner Brothers was probably trying to mitigate its own, its own financial situation as well, and make sure that it didn't get into a financial, bind in taking on another studio that must have, cost them perhaps another few years of development depending on where they were. So again, another thing that you also have to kind of consider is this project was in its more prototype phase when all of that happened. So perhaps from a business perspective, even a publisher like Warner Brothers could have said, it's not something that they wanted to deal with or something that they wanted to take on. But, this is just something that I felt was quite necessary. This thread, nonetheless, is something that I would encourage everybody to go ahead and read. I strongly believe that if you go ahead and read it, you're going to see some of the realities of the gaming industry and how it's very challenging to make these video games, and how some of these studios that have actually delivered some video games, you have to really commend them for all that they've done. So what's going to happen is we're going to continue this conversation in another video. Like I said, this is something that really did make me break my silence. And that's because many of you know I'm really big on the Superman games. And I've always been a person that said, the possibility of a Superman game is actually very real and can be done. It needs to be done because there's no way anybody would say that a Superman game is not a possibility or a potential. And we do know that there are rumors of Warner Brothers Games, Montreal, working on a Superman game potentially. But anyways, I'll leave the conversation here. I would love to hear your thoughts. What do you think about all of this? Is it something that you were just thinking was a rumor, or is there any change in your perspective now in seeing that this game was a game that everybody, at least many people, intended to come out, including other publishers, but there were just circumstances beyond the control of beyond the control of the developer, I would say, that forced the hand of people to just kind of back away from this game? Talk to me in the comment section. Peace out.